Hey, what's up everybody? This is a JavaScript tutorial. I know there's probably plenty of them out there, but I think that we need more teachers. Everyone should give it a shot. I learned to program because of all the people that took time out of their day to make tutorials. And I think there's a lot of different styles out there, and so if you find someone that teaches in the style that you learn best from, that is a good thing. So let's get started. I am going to use Notepad++ right here. If you want to use the same editor, just Google Notepad++ and go to their website and install it. Extremely simple. However, to begin with, I'm going to use the console. If you want to get to the JavaScript console in Chrome, let's go Tools and JavaScript console. I already have it open. It's right here. You can do simple math stuff in it. Use it as a calculator if you want, even if you don't know how to program. I also have Python open, just in case we want to test it out in there. Sometimes it helps to compare and contrast languages, especially because they're all very similar, all the popular ones, based on C. I think I'm going to focus on true and false. That's a good place to start. I actually wish that was the place I started. A lot of things would have been simpler in the future. And let's go over to the console. Let's do something really strange. True plus true plus true plus true minus true. Oh. What does that mean? True plus true plus true plus true minus true. Does it mean true or false? Is it going to evaluate the false? Let's find out. 3. Well, true plus true plus true plus true. We got 4 of these. Minus a true. Well, true must equal 1. And if you wonder what this guy right here is, that is the double equal sign, which looks at equality. There's also the triple equal sign, which is more precise. I think the double equals is good here. So true equals 1, false equals 0. It's true that false equals 0 in this case. So why is true and false important? Well, it is a Boolean type. Now in JavaScript you don't have to specify type. In a lot of languages you have to say bool or Boolean, and then like Java for instance. In Python it's similar to JavaScript. 5 equals 5. That's true. A variable is just a container that you can put values in. True and false is a value. As we can see here, it's either 1 or 0. So variable equals 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15. True. So what value does variable hold? Holds true. Now let's do something really dumb. Let's make a while loop. I should probably explain what a while loop is. It's something you're going to use a lot. You might use the for loop more often than the while loop, but it's a condition. So a while loop looks at a condition, got these curly brackets, sets off a block. Inside of there we'll have something such as console.log in a loop. Now this is a string, we'll look at that pretty shortly, but for now let's try 5 equals 5. Copy that. Go over to Chrome. Now the reason why I said this is dumb is because this is always going to evaluate to true. Never is 5 equals 5 going to be false. So look what we got here. 30,000, 40,000. That's how many times this loop is executed, and it'll keep going and going and going. And if this was C++ or a compiled language, you would probably have to shut down the computer. In this case, let's just shut down the browser. I can hear the fan come on my CPU. Alright. Go back to Tools, open the console, clear. So what is the keyword for a variable? A lot of languages have that. Python doesn't. If you want a variable in Python, you just say variable equals 5. Variable returns 5. In JavaScript, it works just fine in the Chrome console, but if you're going to have it in an actual web application, you're going to need to have the keyword var. So var, and now a name, my var. This could be any name you want it to be. Say random number equals, let's hit some keys. Semicolon ends the statement. Now in JavaScript you don't need a semicolon, but you should have it. It could reduce errors in your program. So this random number equal 654. True. So let's go back over and look at the while loop again. I'm going to create another variable. We're going to call this I. You'll see I's a lot in loops. It stands for iterator. Equals 0. I'm going to say I plus plus, or you could say I equals I plus 1. It would mean the same thing. So now I, every time this loop goes around, is going to keep iterating upward. Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and eventually we're going to say if I is greater than 100. Now you notice how I'm using these curly brackets, just sets things off in the block. We'll talk about scope later. And we'll say that call it num equals false. And we're going to get rid of this. Well, not completely. Let's copy that. Oops. I'm using the touchpad instead of a mouse. It's probably not a good idea. Now num holds the value true because 5 equals 5 evaluates to true. It's jammed into this variable. We're going to throw that variable into the condition. So while num is true, this will keep going. However, if I equals 100 or more than 100, let's say it equals 100 or greater, which means that it will stop at 100, num will equal false. And so when this loop comes back up and is evaluated once more, or the condition is evaluated, the while loop will say, hey, look, this is false. I don't need to do anything anymore. And it'll eject itself out of the loop. It'll break. And let's see what we got. Clear the console. Paste it in there, and 100 times we went through the loop. Greater than or equal to. So as soon as it reached 100, it stopped printing this. Luckily the console just gives you a number here. Otherwise this in a loop would be printed down for 100 lines. And then it also printed false, which is when number became false. So the number is still false. So the program never went up because the program is sequential. It starts at the top and executes downward. Repetition in loops can keep a program basically going in circles, and condition statements can also break up the flow of the program. We'll look at functions later. They can do the same thing. I think I'm just going to wrap up here. So, go ahead and just play around the true and false in the console. So, like, 5 plus 5 divided by 2. To be safe, it's always better to separate this. Equals equals. Don't use the assignment operator, you'll get an error. 2, 5. Well, actually, let's say 4 plus 1. And it should evaluate to true. Bam. Now, as you learn the program, true and false will become more and more important. You'll use it all the time. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I'll probably shoot out quite a few of them over the next month. And thanks for watching.